Hey guys, how y'all doing today? Thanks for coming back to my own drum this week. My name is Danny, and this week has been kind of crazy. There's been a lot going on with the coronavirus, COVID-19, and these are interesting times. Nobody alive has been through anything like this. The last time there was a pandemic was in 1918, so we're all going through this together at the same time, and it's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. So that's all I really want to say about that. I don't want to get too preachy other than to just follow the CDC guidelines. The Center for Disease Control is there for a reason. This is the reason. So definitely please follow their guidelines. Go to their website, check them out. I know a lot of you have heard recently we're supposed to be social distancing, but really, I think that's just physically distancing because socially we're all really connected through the internet, and I think it's a really great thing. It's a great tool, especially for times like these. So practice your physical social distancing. You shouldn't be getting closer than 6 feet to people. If you cough, try to cough in your elbow like that. Definitely be sanitizing and washing your hands. Pick any 20 seconds of a song that you love. Make sure you know that it's 20 to 30 seconds and wash your hands to that and sing to it. I know we've seen all these tips and tricks. And guys, please stop buying all the toilet paper. Your butt's gonna be fine. I promise. This does not attack your butt. You know, you guys are like, well, what if I'm holed up in my house for weeks? And the stores are still gonna be open. They're going to still be open. If you are quarantined, then yeah, maybe stock up on some stuff, but buying cases and cases of toilet paper is going to last you a lot longer than 2 weeks, so you really don't need that much toilet paper. Yeah, okay, that's all I'm gonna say about that. My friend texted me, and she wanted me to make a video on how to make these N95 face masks. It's an approved pattern from ProMedic Health, and these N95 surgical masks it's a cover for a regular mask, but because supplies are so limited, they are using these as just regular masks and not just a cover. And so every little bit helps. So if you have time, if you have 100% cotton, and if you have some mad sewing skills, let's make a few masks and get them donated. What I'm starting with here is a piece of 100% cotton, and I cut it into 9.5 by 15. I made a template, so when I make more of these, this is just a quick guide that it's 9.5 by 15. The instructions say to get 2 of these squares, fold them in half, so now you have 4 layers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and put your mask on it and cut that out to get your 4 layers. However, I misunderstood it, and I thought you were just gonna put this into 4 layers. So that's what I did. Fold it in half, fold it in half again. This still gives me 4 layers for my pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm gonna pin this. I will also put a link in the description for where you can find these patterns. Whenever you're cutting out patterns and you see these little diamonds, you wanna leave those there, and you actually wanna cut them out of your material as well. Now you have 4 pieces. Okay? 4. You want to leave them in layers of 2 though. So we're going to put 2 and 2. Now that we have them cut out, we have 2 layers here. 1, 2, 1, 2. You're going to pin these vertically every 2 inches around your mask. The pattern does say to use elastic cut into a 9.5 inch strip. But if you don't have elastic, cloth ties are fine as well. So in lieu of 1 piece of elastic, I'm using 2 cloth ties. If you were using elastic, you're gonna put your 9.5 inch piece of elastic through the center of your 2 pieces, and it should connect down here at the bottom. You wanna make sure that this is flat going through your mask and it's not all twisted and bent up, but you can see on the pattern here where it says that the elastic ends should meet. So we're gonna make them like that. I have to get them through there though. And again, since I'm using cloth straps, I just cut really long straps. I'm gonna feed them through the center, leave them open on the end. That way you can tie them behind your ear. All right, 2 through. It does say in the directions that when you pin your elastic down, you wanna make sure that they're 3 inches apart. Now we have the straps through our mask, and you're gonna repeat this with the other one. When you're pinning on your second side of straps, you can take the first one and line it up, and that way you'll make sure that it's completely even. Depending on what type of machine you have, I have a really old machine. I'm gonna put it on a zigzag stitch. That's what the pattern recommends. This has to do with your spacing. If you want great big zigzags, then you put it on 4. And if you want really teeny tiny zigzags, you put it on 0. I like to leave it in the middle at about a 2. The edge that we're gonna start sewing is the edge where the elastic pieces are pinned through. You're not gonna sew this edge yet where they are sticking out, or your cloth straps. I'm shooting for a 3/8 inch for my seam on the bottom here. I'm gonna pull this pin out. It will break my needle if I sew through it. Drop your foot. When I start and when I finish, I get to the end and then I do a reverse stitch. Just make sure that it's not gonna come unraveled. And see, that's the whole bottom there. You can even see through the machine, through the light here, that those cloth straps did get stitched into place. Use my cutter back here to trim off the excess. Some of you might not know, the back of your machine here has a little cutter for your thread. And we're just gonna repeat the same thing with the other side. Now we have both sides of the mask. Now we're gonna turn these sections inside out like this. There's your straps. And it says to do a single stitch along this edge where your ties are, just to secure them. We're not gonna do a zigzag. We're gonna change the machine to a straight stitch. And we're just gonna take the mask, make sure that the darts are lined up, make sure that your edges are even, and we're just gonna sew a single stitch along this edge, very close to the edge of the fabric. I'm gonna use the edge of my presser foot as a guide. When you're done, it should look like that. And repeat with the other one. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 sections here and we're gonna lay them right on top of each other. And that's what these little darts are for, is to let you know that you got the edges lined up. Those edges go together. Whenever you see the darts, they go together. You're gonna put your machine back on a zigzag stitch. For a smaller mask, you're gonna use 5/8 of an inch. For a larger mask, you're going to use 1/2 of an inch for your seam. I'm gonna go with 5/8. So line this up with your 5/8 mark over here. And now I'm going to assume that you don't want that great big piece up by your nose. So then you just take your scissors, you're gonna trim it down. If you want, you can put a single stitch through there just for added stability, which I think I'm going to do. Let's see, so put this on, you're gonna put it over your face. I'm just gonna put those behind my ears and then tie them up over here. There it is, there's the face mask. It really wasn't as hard to do as I thought it was gonna be. And then I can just trim off these extra straps here, but oh yeah, there it is. Well, that's all I have for you for this week. Friend, I hope it helped you out. And if you guys have some extra materials and extra time, make some of these up. The pattern really isn't that hard. I mean, once you get the hang of this, I could really crank some of these out. And stay safe out there, guys. Wash your hands, 6 feet away from people if you have to go out, and just stay safe. Until next week, keep on marching to the beat of your own drum. Peace.